Hey, I am going to be doing a Draft Core Set 2019 casual draft. I will be recording this video to post up on my YouTube channel later. You can find me on there at ExParrot42, all one word. Um, Not going to do a whole big introduction here. Going to try and get my glasses cleaned off enough to see what I'm doing here. We're going to get started. I'm going to go ahead and use gold. The break-even point for gyms is 6 wins, like usual, in any casual draft. But if I spin the gold, then any gems I get are really just profit. So let's see. Lena Selfless Champion seems good. Create a 1/1 white soldier creature token for each non-token creature you control. Murder is pretty good. Active Treason's alright. Rest-Wing Falcon. This is a decent pack, all things considered. Elvish Rejuvenator. I'm going to go ahead and take Lena Selfless Champion on this one. It's a nice big creature. Dwarven Priest. Gains 1 life for each creature you control. Epicure of Blood. Lava Axe is straight to a player. Not necessarily something I want. Divination to draw cards. Blood Divination. A lot of choices here. I'm going to go ahead and take Dwarven Priest, I think. Blanchwood Armor is not bad. One with the machine. Locks it on. Linebreaker is eh. Omen Speaker is actually a pretty good card in this setup. Hired Blade's alright. I'm going to take Omen Speaker. It's 1/3 right off the bat. Scry 2 is great. Ether Shield Artificer is great if I can get more creatures to go with it. There is the artifact creature down there of Sky Scanner. Otherwise, by itself, it's a 4 mana 3/3. I'll go with Omen Speaker again. Knight of the Tusk is another big creature, but the problem is it's a 3/7 for 6 mana, but it's also 6 mana. Epicure of Blood. Essence Scatter. I'm going to go with Essence Scatter. It's a good counterspell. Ghost Form, Wall of Mist. There's a whole lot of not great cards in this pack. Really aren't. Well, more creatures, I guess. I'm going to pick up a Johnny's Welcome for the hell of it. Restwing Falcon, good 1-drop. Anticipate, I guess. Take a Locks It On Linebreaker. Oh, another Restwing Falcon is great. 1/2 flyers. Revitalize will probably not be played. Ghost Form. No, alright. Gigantosaur is not good for my deck, clearly. Cavalry Duel Master is great, but let's face it, Militia Bugler is going to be a really good first pick here for my deck. Honestly, Shield Mare is great. I think Aerial Engineer is likely to wheel around to me. Knight's Pledge is great. Let's go with... Oh, Supreme Phantom's nice. I'm going to go with Shield Mare. I'm not building spirits, so I don't need that. Gearsmith Guardian can be a 5/5 artifact creature. Snapping Drake's a 3/2 flyer, though. Well, I guess I can really stack those Omen Speakers up. Gearsmith Guardian. Rustwing Falcon. Really irritate my opponent with all the Rustwings. Let's face it, Nice Pledge is going to be great for this deck. Slap that on a flyer as long as it lives. Creatures are good. Go aggro. I don't want to stack too many high-end cards. I would much prefer my deck be lower to the ground. I've already got 2 Dwarven Priest. Do I need more life gain? Not at the moment. I'll take Night Pledge. I guess the Heavens could be really nice. Combat Trick, I suppose. Same with Mighty Leap. Take a Wall of Mist. And it goes for him. Alright, so we have Psy, Master Thopterist. Seems like a good creature. I need to pick up a few artifacts in my last pack to make it worthwhile. Same with Skilled Animator. Let's see. There should be at least a couple artifacts headed my way. Like, here's an Exclusion Mage is so much better than Explosive Apparatus, though. You know what the silly thing is Millstone would be a really fun card in this setup. Just because. Oh, Leonin Vanguard seems great. Luminous Bonds is a given. Alright, now we're going to start taking an artifact or two since they're getting past my way. Novice Knight is great. I actually needed one for standard play. Scholar of the Stars. Scholar of the Stars. Anticipate. Scholar of the Stars. Really? All the artifacts got picked up? Anticipate. Gearsmith Prodigy. Alright, so I only have one artifact for the deck. Oh well, no big deal. I will play it, though. So 61 cards, and the strange thing about this is every single one of them is in my color. I can't think the last time I drafted... Oh, I've got 2 artifacts. But I can't think the last time I drafted a deck and had... all my cards were in the same colors. Psy Master Thopterist is not going to be that useful with only 2 artifacts. Let's face it. It's a 1/4, so we're going to go ahead and drop him for a little more aggro. I wanted the Millstone just because it's a second artifact. Wall of Mist can go away. I don't really think I'm going to need Ghost Form right now. Revitalize can go. Mighty Leap, we'll pass on that. A Johnny's Welcome I won't need. It's a 2/2. If I have artifacts, I've got plenty of low-end creatures, I think. Skill Animator on Millstone would be fantastic. Will it happen? We'll see. We'll keep Lena as our low-end stuff. Novice Knight will be great. Leonin Vanguard, not so much. Worst comes to worst, this is a nice shock on a creature. Get rid of that combat trick, I won't need it. I don't want to have too many non-creature spells in the deck. My deck is low to the ground. I think I can safely drop to 16 lands, but I still need to drop 8 cards. Wow. We're going to go ahead and drop the Essence Scatter just because this appears to be a very more low to the ground deck, and I'm going to be very aggro. I'm going to play out my mana every turn, not hold mana up in order to counterspell. If I dropped Lena from the deck, I'd be very tempted to drop to 15 land. Two 4s are good for blocking. Sorry about that. Go ahead and drop them. Having to make the really tough choices now is going to be the problem. You know what, for the moment, I actually am going to drop her. I don't know how often I'm going to get her into play. But I really seriously got to drop some stuff here. Anticipate is just too good of a card to want to drop it, though. Alright, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 non-creature spells. So we'll drop 1 Anticipate. I really want the Knight's Pledge to make my creatures bigger. Really can't afford. I mean, the ultimate would be turn 1 Novice Knight, turn 2 Knight's Pledge. Start swinging for 4 a turn. I drop 1 Omen Speaker. The only thing that can really hit, yeah, I may be doing some changes to the deck as I go along. But let's go ahead and try it, see what happens. Worst that happens is I go 0-3 and embarrass myself. And that wouldn't be the first time I've done that. First round against max 87. These will be best of 1 matches. My opponent will go first. This is a keepable hand. Turn 1 into turn 2 into turn 3. I mean, Scholar of Stars, or turn 4 rather. This is turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. Scholar of Stars would be better if I draw an artifact in the interim. But in a pinch, I could go ahead and just play it and have a 3-2. Opponent decides to keep their hand. Now, the one thing that this deck is going to be lacking is hard removal. They're going to open up with Explosive Apparatus turn 1. Alright. So I think I'm still going to do turn 3 Shieldmare. Oh, Gearsmith Prodigy. Well, that's going to get blanked by the Omen Speaker at least. Oh, wow. Okay. This is a good aggro hand. I want to draw the Line Breaker first. Then I'll drop turn 5 Gearsmith Prodigy. Since I control a blue creature, it'll be a 5/5. Assuming that the Omen Speaker isn't dealt with in the interim. Even Windmage, shoot 2 flyer. Good creature. So it's going to look like a Line Breaker next turn because I want to cast Scholar of Stars after I drop the Gearsmith Guardian. And Mirror Image is probably going to copy the Aven Windmage. Yep. So now he's got a pair of 2/2 flyers. We'll go ahead and swing with a Shieldmare. See if he wants to block or not. He'll have to double block to do it, and I could take out the copied Windmage. going to go ahead and let it through, and I will go ahead and drop a line breaker. Next turn's Gearsmith's Guardian's going to be nice, followed up with Scholar of Stars, but I do need to find a flyer here pretty soon. Unless my opponent's just going to let me race them. And unfortunately for them, I'm pretty sure I can win in a race. We'll see, though. You going to crack the apparatus on the Loxodon on line breaker? That appears to be the case. That'll slow me down slightly. Not a terrible amount. Shieldmare swings in for 2. Next turn, I actually could drop both the Scholar of Stars and the Rustwing Falcon. Rustwing in a pinch gives me a blocker. Oh, okay. Johnny's bad because he's going to be able to pump both Wind Mages. Johnny will be a major target. I have to get him off the board ASAP. Preferably next turn before it can pump his flyers too much. I drew a land, which is not helpful here. Let's open with the Scholar of Stars. That'll do next turn. In the interim, I can drop Rustwing Falcon. He's going to go ahead and block. Snapping Drake is going to be able to block one of his creatures, unless I take 6 this turn, go to 5, drop Snapping Drake, and then double block. I'm almost thinking that wouldn't work out too well, because he's going to make his mages 4/4s, probably. I have 11 damage on the board. If he swings with both Wind Mages, I could almost race him. Depending on what he decides to do here. Wish he'd figure it out, though. There we are. Pump him. Yep, now he's getting roped because he's taking so long to make a decision. Now the question really becomes, do I swing at a Johnny or do I just go straight for his face? Is he roping on purpose? So I'll go to 7. Totally Lost is going to put Gearsmith Guardian on top of my library, which definitely slows me down. That may actually do it, though. Swing 4 at a Johnny and 2 at him. I can block 1 Wind Mage next turn, but that's it. I have 10 on board. You know what the worst problem is? If I swung at him, he'd be a 10. I go to 3. Opponent drops Chaos Wand. Let's go ahead and anticipate first. See what I can find in the way of answers. Militia Bugler looks, sees nothing. There's my Luminous Bonds finally, but that'll do it. I lose. Lost to an Ajani, which is not uncommon. In a limited format like this, Planeswalkers tend to be pretty backbreaking. So, going to 0-1 right off the bat. Oh well, I can still go 7 straight wins after this. I've done it before. You know what? This is a hand I'll keep. I've got a creature, a couple of creatures. I've got Anticipate, Luminous Bonds, Knight's Pledge. I mean, the 1-mana white knight would be the perfect draw since I'm on the draw. But we shall see what happens. And didn't see it. No big deal. Let's go ahead and rearrange my hand. I like my cheapest spells on the left, more expensive on the right. Playing against a Orzhov deck at the moment. Rogue Gloves. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Unfortunately, this is going to make Knight's Pledge a little bit weaker for me. You know what? I'm going to put both those in the bottom. I need to start drawing more. Well, no. One on top, one on the bottom. I'm about to say I need more land, but then I realized I have 3 land. That lets me cast any spell in my deck. I could actually drop Rustwing Falcon next turn. Or the Loxodon Online Breaker. But what I was saying was, murder is a possibility since my opponent has black in their deck. Let's go ahead and drop the Line Breaker. Let's go aggro. Now let me draw out a removal spell or 2 early. Or a Hired Blade. Reassembling Skeleton. Reassembling Skeleton is an annoyance, to say the least. So I'll put it on the Hired Blade and swing. Of course I'll block. Let's go ahead and drop a Snapping Drake. Which is 3/2 flyer. If he doesn't have a lot of removal, I could be swinging for 5 in the air a turn. Still have Luminous Bonds for any nasty creature he decides to drop. Rogue's Gloves does not offer anything spectacular. Let's go ahead and drop that. Go to combat, attack, see what happens. I don't need to anticipate yet. Locks it on Lightbreaker second main. And I'm set. There's Luminous Bonds. Let's go ahead and Luminous Bonds that. I'm going to drop a Knight's Pledge on the Rustwing because I'll make them both 3 power, which means I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. If he wants to use a removal spell, he has to choose which one he wants to kill. I put it on the Loxodon Online Breaker, yeah, I can swing for 5 a turn with it, but the minute he draws 1 kill spell, it's going to be gone, and so is my Knight's Pledge. With Reassembling Skeleton bonded, he's not going to be able to put it in the graveyard. He's going to return the Hired Blade. So I wonder what's going to come down when I swing with the Line Breaker. Oh, he had to discard a card, and he chose to discard the card he just pulled back. What the world is he doing? That makes no sense. I'm going to main phase this Anticipate, see what I can draw. And the answer is a land. So, in case there's a trick, I'm going to keep the Line Breaker back and just swing in the air. I'm still really confused what he was doing with that. Okay, open the graves. Good pull, good pull. Let's go for it. This will drop him to 1. No, this will drop him to 0. I can't count. So, win number 1. Looks like he had a pretty decent deck. He just got mana flooded and didn't draw a lot of creatures. So, guaranteed 100 gems and 1 pack. 22% chance of the bonus pack. Let's go. This is such an aggro hand. Yeah, I'm gonna keep. This is a snap keep for me. We'll have to see what my opponent has color-wise. If it doesn't look like they have any hard removal, I can start dropping Knight's Pledge on a Rust Wing as early as turn 2. Get some early damage in. Well, we have red. I think he would have killed it if he had the choice. So, take a risk. And it paid off. This is going to put it well out of reach of any burn spell he's going to have early. But, you know, Luminous Bonds could be a problem. Linebreaker can deal with the Swift Claw. Could make that a 5/4 Linebreaker. Lightning Mare. Can't be blocked by blue creatures. He held... Oh, it doesn't have haste. For some reason, I thought that had haste. So we'll drop another creature to block his Lightning Mare. It has fire breathing, but that's it. Or the worst thing you could actually do right now would be to attack Lightning Mare. Is he going to do it again? Aha, we got something going on here. What sort of nonsense is this? Thud. Alright, well. Thud works. We'll drop Explosive Apparatus. Next turn I can draw a card. Pump up the Linebreaker. Swing 5. But the Explosive Apparatus could go away in order to clear the way. Put him to 1. Goblin Instigator. That gives him a couple of turns of blockers. And a Swift Claw gives him a nice 3/1 attacker. I know, locks on a Linebreaker probably would have been a better choice. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and attack. I want to see him double block to kill it. So that makes it harder for him to kill off the Scholar of Stars next turn unless he plays another creature. I've got gas. I don't know if he has gas for days. I don't mean I have to fart. Okay, a 3/7 Vigilance sort of gums up the road. And it has Vigilance. So, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a dick and bounce the Knight of the Tusk. This forces the block on the Scholar of Stars. If he drops the Knight of the Tusk next turn, he only has 1 blocker. Which won't work for him. He has to have 2 blockers. Apparently I made my wife laugh over there. And she just shot me a dirty gesture. And my opponent concedes. So that worked out alright. 2 and 1. Let's go. Zauberfee. Interesting name. And this is a no land hand. I'm pretty sure I'm going to ship this one back. We'll keep it. Scry to the bottom. Because if I don't draw a plains, I can't anticipate for it. And I draw another island. Alright. They're very insistent that I have an island. Playing what looks like a Boros deck. Fountain of Renewal is going to gain some early life. We'll go ahead and wait till the end of turn to anticipate. Doesn't do me any good to anticipate now. Not like I can get any benefit from it. They have nothing on turn 3. There's the plains I need. We'll go ahead and drop the 3/2. It's the biggest creature we got. You got a removal spell? He's got something he could cast in his speed. Or is it... Oh, he could sacrifice the Fountain of Renewal if he wanted. That's probably what it's about. Alright, 4 mana. What do they got? A Pyromancer. Good creature. Can't argue. I'm going to go ahead and drop a Rustwing Falcon. I'll probably go ahead and swing with the Loxodon Linebreaker just to get the trade out of the way. Keep the board uncluttered. Because he's not going to swing with the Pyromancer into my board. There's just no way. Pass turn to my opponent. They're going to gain another life. Revitalize. Not a card I'd play main deck in a format like this. Honestly, I think when it comes to limited, life gain does not get you anywhere. It just doesn't. Oh, I forgot to anticipate into turn. Son of a gun. Got too busy talking, looking at something on my phone. Got no one to blame but myself. Anyway, you want your spells to be impactful immediately. Revitalize doesn't do anything but give you 3 life and replace itself. It doesn't impact the board. At best, it eliminates 1 turn of, say, attacking with my Snapping Drake. I've seen Nexus of Fate standard decks play it, and that makes sense because they want to stay alive until they can get their Nexus of Fate to come online. My opponent have a combat trick for the Pyromancer. Come on. I know, I was just staring at my phone and caused me to make a mistake, but really, people, when you're playing Arena, it's just like if you're playing Magic in a gaming store. Pay attention to your game and focus on it. Don't be playing 2 matches. Don't be doing all kinds of other things. Just play the game. Your opponents will appreciate it. I'll gain 3 life. It cannot be blocked by red creatures. It's got a fat enough butt to block the Pyromancer and survive. He's gotten a lot of value out of that Fountain of Renewal. That's something I can say I would play in this environment because it can go on later and it can be sacrificed to draw a card. The 1 life every turn can trigger, it is repeatable, so it can trigger off of a variety of things. There's a lot of cards in this format that trigger off of, or benefit from life gain. Are you kidding me? This is what I find off Anticipate? Fine. Whatever. I'll take the Rustwing Falcon. We'll go ahead and basically dump my hand on the board. He cannot block the shield mare, so it's going to come across. If he tries to kill the shield mare, it's just going to laugh. He's at 27 life, so it's going to be tricky. With shield mare doing a 2 a turn, him getting 1 off of that Fountain of Renewal, it's not like I can easily drain his life. I'm going to try and kill off that Pyromancer. Make a stand. He's going to make his creature indestructible. Well, he just blew his combat trick. I understand him wanting to defend, but all he really did was tell me don't swing with the Loxodon Online Breaker. I mean, it makes sense. He wants to try and stave off my offense because he's not going to be gaining enough life to stave off a big offense. If you're desperate enough, I mean, in that kind of situation, I'd be sitting there thinking, do I really want to do that or not? Ordinarily, it'd be a kind of situation where you want to trade that card for one of my creatures. So you can crack the Fountain into turn, look for an answer. Yes, that's going to help me. Because he's gained probably 8 life off of that thing. 7 mana in play. I'll race you. This is a race I can win. 3, 6, 9, 11. I've got 12 damage on the board that I can swing with. Snapping Drake can't do anything because Luminous Bonds. Now, I'll tell you a little secret here. Millstone, half the reason I played it is because it gives me an artifact in my deck, but the other half is, back in the old days when I played, I loved the hell out of Millstone. I played a lot of mill decks that utilized it. I'm going to go ahead and take this again, go to 10. They're going to Lava Axe me down to 5. Huh. I will leave back the Pyromancer, or the Rustwing Falcon this time. See if he's got another Lava Axe. If he does, oops. I mean, how are you going to expect Lava Axe to kill you? Again, I won't overextend just in case. No, okay. Oof. Opponent had me worried that time. Alright, so first round lost and then 3 straight wins is a good sign. I was reading on Reddit yesterday a thread where somebody had commented that they have a friend who plays 3 different games at once, 3 different card games. And so he's flipping back and forth between the windows. And the guy got called out for it because it's like, you're not paying attention to your window. You're making your opponent wait on you in every single game. So what? You can play 3 games at once? Why? Courtesy. Consider it. Opponent opens up with the exact same play I wanted. All I need is a Knight's Grace, or whatever, Knight's Pledge, excuse me, to enchant it, and I'll have an early beat stick. So, Rustwing Falcon, Explosive Apparatus. Worst comes to worst, is a nice 2/3 blocker. I could bounce the Exclusion Mage next, or use the Exclusion Mage to bounce Novice Knight as needed. In case he's got some enchantment stuff, I will hold on to the Exclusion Mage for a bit. Drop Militia Bugler instead. Pegasus Courser is a bit of an issue. 1/3 flyer. Shuts down my offense. Are you kidding me? Whiff on the Militia Bugler. On the other hand, I can block the Pegasus Courser with the Rustwing. Giant Spider, 2/4. Oh, let's go ahead and drop the millstone. Worst comes to worst, I'll just start milling my opponent to death behind a wall of creatures. No, cancel. Cancel. Didn't realize hitting space would cause my creatures to attack. Glad I just didn't start pounding space, because that would have been a blowout game that I would have lost. Land 4 gives me Scholar of the Stars. Another Plains gives me a Shield Mare. And he's going to go ahead and swing with the Giant Spider as well. Alright. We'll block the Pegasus Courser and take 2 from the Spider. Flying Spiders, everybody's worst nightmare. So, Scholar of Stars. I draw a card since I control an artifact. I actually have 3 artifacts in my deck. Luminous Bonds. Now the question is, do I go ahead and bonds the Spider or the Courser? Or do I hang on to it? Because sooner or later they could drop an even bigger creature, and right now I'm not that worried. Alright. See, this is why we keep Exclusion Mage. Doesn't give it trample, does it? So it's just a 5/6. Oh no, he gave that one flying. Alright. So it looks like I'm taking 5 in the air and bouncing the Novice Knight to his hand. That'll get rid of Oakenform. I can drop a second Restwing Falcon. Still can't attack with that giant spider in the way. It's becoming more and more tempting to Luminous Bonds the spider. That way I can start swinging. On the other hand, if I do it on the Pegasus Courser, it shuts down his air offense. He can't attack me. Yeah, I'm really thinking I'll just bonds that. And pass turn. Into turn I can mill him. All of his creatures have fat enough butts that Explosive Apparatus won't do anything. AKA the Fat Pants creatures. Thornhide Wolves, 4/5. Well, those are going to be requiring a triple block. Mill. So we got rid of a dagger. Oh, I got rid of a Blanchwood Armor. That does not get any better than that. Another creature to gum up the ground. This actually allowed me to just double block the Thornhide Wolves. Say, Novice Knight Linebreaker. He's going to look at the top card of his library, see if it's land. It is. 22 cards left in the library. Of course, the longer I play this game, the more likely it is he'll drop something that breaks my back, and then I lose. Well, crud. Now I'm going to have to save up for Explosive Apparatus. Oh my goodness, just let me do this. One blocker. Thornhide Wolves is going to do 4 in the air. Take me to 9. Greenwood Sentinel. Vigilance, mill him. Down to 20 cards in deck. I milled Colossal Dreadmaw and Vigilant Baloth. That's pretty good. I can actually drop the Omen Speaker and still have Explosive Apparatus available. So let me look at 2 cards. We're going to leave 1 Plains on top, because I do want to cast Shieldmare at some point. Just click to pass turn. Alright, another land. Trying to improve his chance of drawing something more useful. Shieldmare gives me 3 life when it hits the board, or becomes target of spell or ability my opponent controls. Which I don't see that happening, but I would like the 3 life. Especially if he draws another flyer before I do. Knight's Pledge on one of my flyers would be great. Snapping Drake would be great. Opponent considering. He may realize that I've got a trap set up for him. Joe Bro. Don't think I'm being stream sniped. Let's see if he attacks. If he doesn't, I get to mill it into turn like usual. He doesn't attack. He recognizes the violence inherent in the system. End of turn Millstone. Then puts him down to 16 cards and milled a Forest and a Dreadmaw. 1, 2, 3. Gain 3 life, go up to 12. We'll go ahead and pass turn. He's going to look at the top card of his library. And it apparently is a land. Wow. Opponent hitting 3 for 3 on the Dryad Greenseeker. 14 cards remaining in their library, 22 in mine. Now look at the chess clocks on the left. I've had priority for 2 minutes 20 seconds. My opponent is now almost 7 minutes priority time. I know this is a complex board state, but seriously, folks, play at a reasonable pace, please. Another giant spider. Well, I mean, I'm not doing any attacking, but Millstone may just do what I was hoping it would do, which is let me mill my opponent out and win a game on a stall. Opponent will not attack again. He's continuing to look for answers. I will mill my opponent. Get rid of a Daybreak. Oh, I milled 2 forests last time. Daybreak, Chaplain, and Marauder's Axe are my cards. I will pass turn without attacking. I've got to anticipate for end of turn. Marauder's Axe would have been nasty for him to have. He 4 for 4 now. With Dryad Greenseeker as he finds the plains off the top. 10 cards left in his library. And we have a 7/7 trample hitting the board. I knew that was going to happen sooner or later, but I've got a board. The question is going to be, is he going to go ahead and swing all out with all of his creatures in desperation? Because that could cause me some problems. Okay, so 2 things. Mill my opponent down to 8 cards in their library. And what did I mill? Mentor the Meek in a Plains, and then we're going to anticipate. Snapping Drake seems pretty darn good in this situation. There's even a land to make it easier to cast and still keep up mana for explosive apparatus. This is going to make it worse for my opponent, because now I have a creature that straight up blocks the Pegasus Courser, plus one additional flyer. So Ghostbark Twins does trample, which makes it tricky. He misses finally on his Dryad Greenseeker. 7 cards left. Declare Dominance. Target creature gains +3/+3 until end of turn. All creatures that are able to block it must do so this turn. Well, good game. I'm just gonna sit back, let you do it. I will go ahead and mill you 2, just for the hell of it. Now kill me. All creatures able to block it must block it. So the 4/6 Dryad Greenseeker is going to die horribly to 10 blockers. Sadly, the rest of his creatures will beat the ever-living crap out of me. So I'll be 3-2. Can't take any more losses without being out. Alright, so I go to -6. There we go. Did not manage to mill my opponent out. But I gave it a good old college try. And here we have a hand. Not spectacular. I mean, if he has a removal spell for Westwing Falcon, I'm hurt. If he doesn't, I'm beating face. He's got an explosive apparatus that doesn't count as a removal spell because he doesn't have 3 mana. So I'm seeing second turn Knight's Pledge. Of course, there's a chance of Luminous Bonds. Let's face it. Are you kidding me? Double explosive apparatus. Alright, well. Opponent expecting to kill off my Wrestling Falcon next turn is going to be surprised. There's the bonds. Son of a gun. I'm going to go ahead and drop the Millstone. Hope that I draw land next turn so I can play Scholar of Stars. If not, I'll drop the Omen Speaker. Opponent does nothing. Alright, let's do Militia Bugler. It's even better than Omen Speaker. And whiff. Alright, you know, Militia Bugler, you're supposed to be pulling your weight here, and you are not. Double Dragon, my opponent name. I love it. Love it. Tell you what, I'm going to be ballsy. Pop the Knight's Pledge on the Militia Bugler, make it a 4/5 Vigilance, and swing. Basically, try and make it harder for my opponent to have a combat trick to deal with it. Don't be looking at my Bugler. What did I just say? I swear, some people just cannot follow directions. So yeah, Luminous Bonds will shut down my Militia Bugler. Scholar of the Stars lets me draw a card, drops a 3/2 on the board. I have a Luminous Bonds in case my opponent gets a decent creature in play to block me. Gallant Cavalry. I'm going to go ahead and swing with the Scholar. Force a trade. Come, Patsy. Freaking block if you're going to block. We're going to drop the Scholar, even though he could Explosive Apparatus it. It's going to force him to use it. Plus, I get a card no matter what. Anticipate. So I've got a handful of answers still. 2 creatures on the board that aren't doing anything. An opponent who looks like he's going to pop an Explosive Apparatus on me. I don't know why I didn't block. Seems kind of silly. The answer is I'm distracted. I was thinking about some other line, and yeah, got no one to blame but myself. So 2 Scholars. On the other hand, my opponent is lower on life. But I took 2 damage I didn't need to take. For all I know, my opponent would just kill my creature in response. Sure, he can go ahead and kill one. Go block the other. Yes, no, maybe so. There we go. Alright. We can drop 2 more creatures now. Locks it on Linebreaker and a Restwing Falcon. Next turn I'll have Omen Speaker to help. Scry. I've got Luminous Bond still. Explosive Apparatus can take down Locks it on Linebreaker. And it will. Leaves him with the 2/2 in play, and no one to block it. No big deal there. I'm going to go ahead and Omen Speaker. I would really like to see another land. Well, I said I want another land. I'm going to put one on the bottom, though. I now have his Omen, or his Cavalry blocked with Omen Speaker. Omen Speaker can block for days. Sorry, it occurs to me I'm playing with a fidget cube in my... I got the mouse in one hand, fidget cube in the other, and you probably can hear me clicking it. Alright, I will be... no blocks. I will be doing a Luminous Bonds for that Angel of the Dawn, though. No, I don't want to anticipate in the turn. I should have milled him. I'm going to put the fidget cube down so I don't make click-clack noises all day on this video. Well, opponent is drawing their land finally. This is bad for me. Frilled Fish Serpent, Frilled Sea Serpent, 4/6, you can pay 7 mana and it can't be blocked this turn. Seems bad for me. Well, what do I know, right? We'll go with the biggest creature I can get, because I can always drop the Locks it on Linebreaker, and just like, if he doesn't set himself up to block, or to make it unblockable, I can just triple, quadruple, whatever block it. I will swing one in the air, although now I don't have enough power on the board to kill the Sea Serpent. That's alright, actually. Because I can drop Locks on a Linebreaker next turn, and that'll do for it. And if he starts just making it unblockable, it means he can't do anything else, and I can think I have enough damage on the board to race him to the victory. So that's not a good line for him. I know this feels like an absolute trap. I feel like I need to do it. I'm hoping it's just a mistake. He hit attack all without thinking about it. Fire charge. Yep, there is the combat trick. So he'll take care of one Omen Speaker. I'll go to 5, and now next turn he can make that unblockable and kill me. Let's anticipate. I don't think there's any answers. Now, Exclusion May would have been an answer, but as you saw, I didn't draw anything but 3 lands off Anticipate. 3. One in the air. Opponent just had way too much control for me. Way too much. Alright. Finally figures out his line. Oh, well, I'm only put to 1 with that. And now I may have an out. Exclusion Mage may give me that out. Because I can bounce the Sea Serpent, which saves me a turn. Combat. Attack. 1, 3, 4. Exclusion Mage can block the Gallon Cavalry in a pinch. Oh, so can Loxodon the Line Breaker, come to think of it. He'll block the Line Breaker and drop to 4 life. Now I could get Explosive Apparatus. Rustwing Falcon's going to make it a little bit trickier because it gives him a blocker in the air. Alright, if I attack with Rustwing, an Omen Speaker, and Exclusion Mage, 1 damage is going to go through to put him at 3, which isn't enough. So, never over till it's over. I'll drop the Snapping Drake and see if he makes a mistake. I suspect he won't. He'll make his Sea Serpent unblockable and swing in. Because that would be the smart play here. And that's what he does. Alright, good game. I think that's loss number 3. So that's what? 3 and 3, which is eh. But oh well. I will get 300 gems, which is 300 more than I had before. And a pack of course sets. So let's take a look at what this pack offers. I will get an uncommon wild card. Thank you. Heroic Reinforcements is a decent uncommon. And Thorn Lieutenant is a fantastic rare pull. I mean, I really can't argue with it. Alright, so that will do it. 3 and 3. Yeah, I'm making a change to my little cruddy mono green deck while I'm here. 3 and 3 will do it. That'll be the end of this draft. So I'll be putting this draft up shortly on my YouTube channel. Search for me at ExParrot 42. I stream weekly at Fridays, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, and other times when I feel like it and have time. So thanks for watching.